Hi guys, Gina here and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is a little bit different. Today's video, I am digging pretty deep in the multi-layers of Gina. So this is a very vulnerable video because I am telling you guys the absolute truth about something that had affected my life for a long time. So after I made my Dollar Tree video and telling you guys why I had to stop shopping at the Dollar Tree, I had gotten a lot of comments asking me about impulse shopping, shopping addictions, and this has been a comment that I've been getting for quite some time now. So I thought that it was fitting to go ahead and share this video with you guys. I was chatting with Jeff from Jeff Saves with Coupons when I posted my video last week, and we were kind of like diving into this topic. So I had even mentioned in our little group chat, like, hey, I think I probably should share this with my viewers because maybe this is gonna help someone. So I'm just gonna lay it all out there. So when I was in college, university to be specific, I was living on my own at the time. So I was 21. This was from the age of 21 to roughly 23 years old. And I had a serious shopping addiction, a shopping addiction that led me to get in debt. Like, we're talking in the neighborhood of probably $20,000 in credit card debt. Yes. So when I was in my early 20s, I had an impulse shopping problem. I would shop all the time. I would shop for things I didn't need because it made me feel better. When I was in college, I had discovered credit cards. So with credit cards in college, all I had to do was apply, and then I had instant cash right at my fingertips to just go and buy anything and everything I could get my hands on. Then the bill would come, and then that's when there was a lot of problems. At the time, I was not properly diagnosed or treated with my mental illness. So I am clinically diagnosed with having bipolar depression. So if you guys didn't know, some of the characteristics of someone with bipolar disorder specifically is being very spontaneous, up and down mood swings. So what I would do if I was having a bad day, if I was sad or upset about something, I would then turn my feelings and try to make myself feel happier by going and shopping. So I would spontaneously buy things, random things. Probably the most spontaneous purchase I had made, something that I couldn't afford. Well, my credit card told me I could afford it because I had this endless limit of a credit card telling me I can spend this much money. The most spontaneous thing I probably purchased was my Labrador Charlie. Is my Labrador Charlie, and I have had Charlie for 10 years. At the time, 10 years ago, I was in no place at all to bring a dog into my life. I could barely afford myself, so here I was bringing in a dog. So that's what I'm talking about with the spontaneous purchases. Just one day I hopped on Craigslist and I was like, I'm gonna adopt a dog because I'm now living on my own. I have my own house. I'm an adult, so now I can get a dog. That was like my mind process when I adopted Charlie. So yes, that was probably one of the most spontaneous purchases of my life, but I do not regret that purchase because Charlie has been just a lifesaver in my life for the past 10 years. But at the time, and he's still going strong, I'll go ahead and insert a photo of my dog Charlie, but at the time I could not afford to take care of him, and you know, there was a span of time where Charlie had went and lived with my parents because I couldn't properly take care of him, but now he, you know, is back in our home. Charlie's been a part of our home for the past 6 years, so I've taken back responsibility of Charlie. My husband and I take really good care of our dogs, but we don't need to, yeah. So what would happen is I would have episodes of being really sad, depressed, angry, and what I would do is I would just stroll to the Brea Mall, because that's where I lived at the time. I was in the Fullerton area because I attended Cal State Fullerton, and I would just blow my money on shoes and clothes and bags, cosmetics. I had like a real obsession with MAC Cosmetics. Like I could only wear MAC Cosmetics. So I had a huge bill at Nordstrom. I had a huge bill at Victoria's Secret. I had a huge bill at Macy's. Like every place that had a store card, I had a balance on. And the funny thing is, most of the purchases I made back in that time, I don't even have possession of. Like it's been donated or given away. Like I don't even have anything to show for all of that debt that I accumulated. And then the bills started coming, and then the phone calls started coming because I had all of these payments I needed to make, but I didn't have the money to pay for them. So I was getting debt collecting calls. My parents were getting debt collecting calls. It was like a never ending cycle of debt collecting. It was really bad, you guys. So eventually I had to move back into my parents. So I was 24, done with college and moving back in with my parents. So that's what I was. I was a 24-year-old college graduate living with mom and dad. So that really took a hit on my pride, and I felt so freaking embarrassed of the adult I was turning into. I was a 24-year-old with $20,000 in debt. And in debt for what? Materialistic crap that I didn't need to buy in the first place, with the exception of Charlie, because I love that dog to death. Long story short, it took me over 7 years to pay off all of that debt, and it took 7 years to then rebuild the credit that I flushed down the toilet when I was in my early 20s. And you know what, guys? You need credit for pretty much anything. So if you want to get, you know, obviously the big things, your house, your car insurance, your utilities, if you don't have good credit, everything else is going to be more expensive for you. So, you know, to avoid deposits on rental cars, to avoid deposits on utilities, you need to have good credit. So, yeah, lesson learned. So now that I'm talking to you guys now, I am 32 years old and I am currently under the care of a psychiatrist. So I am being treated for my bipolar depression with medication and following up with my psychiatrist every 6 months. So I am currently under the care and I am dealing with it. So something that I've had to learn for myself is learning how to cope different ways. So when I have like a mood swing or I'm upset or whatever it is, I'm starting to feel depressed, I needed to find healthier ways to alleviate what was going on mentally in my headspace. So now I kickbox, now I run, now I deep clean the house. All three of those that I mentioned to you helps alleviate my stress. It helps alleviate my mood swings. It puts me back into balance. Something else that I do is I watch reality TV with my husband, and we watch The Bachelor, The Bachelorette together. And you know, my husband doesn't particularly care for those shows, but he knows it's something that I love, it's something that I enjoy, and it's something that I look forward to at the end of a hard day. So instead of me looking forward to, you know, going to Nordstrom and buying a bunch of stuff, because that's what I would used to look forward to. When I would get off work, I would be so excited to like go shop at Nordstrom. But now after a hard Monday, I look forward to spending quality time with my husband and watching the SHIT show, that is The Bachelor and The Bachelorette and The Bachelorette in Paradise. So you need to find your coping mechanism to help you. Something else that I do is I avoid places that tempt me. So going back to my video from last week talking about the Dollar Tree, I avoid the Dollar Tree as much as I can because I had fallen back into a pattern of impulse shopping back last year when I started doing Dollar Tree hauls, and it would give me that like same high I would get when I would shop in my early 20s. So once I started noticing that, I knew I had to like cut it out for a long span of time. So I needed to, so I cut the Dollar Tree out completely for 6 months because I was shelling out $40 to $50 a week at the Dollar Tree, and it just wasn't good. It was problematic for me, and it was something that I needed to cut. Something else that I stopped doing, I do not shop in store for my groceries. I don't go to Albertsons to shop for groceries anymore. If you notice, this past week for Target, I didn't do a Target in-store video because I didn't want to put myself in temptation of buying stuff at Target that I don't need. So you'll be seeing a shift in some of my couponing videos to where I'm not physically getting myself into those stores on a weekly basis because it's just not good for me. So, you know, whatever you're struggling with, maybe it's alcohol, maybe it's smoking, maybe it's, I don't know, some other stuff that maybe you watch on the internet. I don't know. I don't want to trigger you guys from watching this video. Maybe you deal with food different ways. Maybe going to a buffet wouldn't be a good idea for you. Whatever it is you struggle, everyone has a struggle. Everyone has a weakness. Everyone has some sort of, I don't know what I say. Everyone has some sort of a bad habit that is not good for them. So a way to avoid that habit, a way to avoid that addiction or whatever it is, you need to keep yourself away from temptation. So if I was an alcoholic, me going to a bar would not be a good thing. Going into Bevmo would not be a good thing. Going to a wine tasting event would not be a good thing. You don't want to put yourself in a situation that's going to cause you to stumble, a situation that's going to just cause you more harm than good. So I only do my grocery shopping with a Walmart grocery pickup because I am at home, I have my list, and I don't deviate from that list. And I am not sucked into all the impulse buying that comes along with stores, because stores want people like me who are impulse buyers. That's exactly why, if you notice, when you go to the grocery store, they keep the milk at the end of the store. They don't have the milk at the front. They have it at the very end because they need you to walk to the other end of the store and have you see everything else around you in hopes that you're gonna pick something up that you weren't actually intending to pick up in the first place. So that is why I avoid in-store grocery shopping, because I know my weakness and I can't do it. So I hope you guys have enjoyed watching this video. And some people ask me often, like when I open up about like things that have troubled me in the past, they say, oh, do you regret this? Do you regret that? I actually can honestly tell you guys that I regret nothing in my life. If anything, I am taking my struggle with shopping and the addiction that shopping had and the trouble I got into with credit and credit cards, I'm able to then educate my kids on, hey, this is what happened to mom when she was in her early 20s, and I'm hopeful that it's gonna help them make better choices. And my parents were fantastic when it came to educating me on money. My dad is very conservative when it comes to spending. My mom she rarely ever spends money on herself. Like, my parents are two very conservative spenders. They're savers. They don't like debt. My dad doesn't even put his credit card on the internet. Like, my parents are very savvy with their money, and they taught me that. And I just didn't take the advice they gave me. And I just did, you know, I just did my own thing, and doing my own thing led me into a lot of problems. So I am taking my life experience and then passing it on to my kids, because that is very important. So I'm going to be very open and honest with my kids and letting them know, hey, this is what happened to mom, and I don't want you guys to turn out like I did in my early 20s. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Share with anyone that you may think is also having some sort of, I don't know, addiction to something, because we're not just talking shopping. Like, there's addictions to everything, you guys. So if you know someone in your life who's also struggling with something similar, share this video with them. It doesn't have to be a public share. You could just share it with them privately, because I am sitting here and letting you guys know I am just as flawed as everyone else. You know, I'm a sinner just like everyone else, and I feel like it's really important for me to sit down in front of you guys and say, hey, I really effed up when I was in my early 20s, and this is why. Like, I need to share this side of you guys. I need to share this side with you guys because I think it's very, very important. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and go ahead and give it a big thumbs up so I know you have enjoyed it. Comment below anything you would like. I would love to have the comment section be open for conversation. But you know, let's all stay nice, you guys. Don't comment something you wouldn't comment to your own mother. The rule, treat others the way you would like to be treated. So I will talk to you guys later. Bye.